Yeah. Boom to the hey, all you sports fans out there in the two-ball-sphere, to you, the individuals, part of the collective. Welcome to the OMSR. I am your brief but very concise host, Will, the alternative ESPN Sports Thrill. Talk briefly and concisely about what's coming up, along with Dwayne, darn that ultimate sports fan, and a few of the Pi Kappa Alpha House Sweethearts, U of U Chapter Alpha Tau. Giving you props. Alright, G-Town and IU. That time of the year, non-conference schedule slate came to an end this weekend, so this is good in overtime. Take it from overtime. There's only so much time we can bring you from each game. Not all basketball shows are created equal. There's a lot of phony balonies running around on YouTube going, third-party content ID. Abuse. Poster boys for it. X's and O's. Watch out for them fools. And then a little analysis. Kentucky Louisville. Of course, the headshot that started it all from Gem.0, Duke Fluke from 2011 when they were just ready to hand off the trophy. Here you go, Duke. National championship. Why even bother having a trophy? You might remember him, some of you subs from a while back. Kim Pock, the oracle to the sports gods. Don't have time for it now in this unofficial version, Gen 5.0. Alright, so on the quickie sport rant of the segment. Okay, so Kentucky won. Big Blue, you're not going to like me for this, but I'm being impartial here as much as I can be, considering when I walked on at the U of U, before I blew up my ankle, it's very possible I'd have been the off guard from Andre Miller, point guard. Now, the off guard for the U of U got shut down by Bogans, and then Kentucky goes on from a 12-point deficit to win the national championship in Tubby Smith's first year. Okay, that being said, you got a bunch of 7-footers on the team now. Okay, that don't mean you have game. Now, I still got game in my early 40s, shockingly so. And I say that with all... I'm trying to impart a sense of humility here, because I'm just as surprised as anybody who's played against me. A guy in my 40s should still not have a devastating crossover, but it's there. Just because you're 7 foot don't mean you got game. It just means it comes easier. Sooner or later, just like on the channel, the last 2 years, it seemed to happen to Kentucky and Florida a couple times, more often than not. In the SEC West, seems to be more competitive in basketball than the SEC East in recent years. It's going to happen, and it has not going to have anything to do with the hype. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching. No silly DUIs while you're out there. Reminding you, sports and alcohol, they are joined at the hip. Roll clip.
USAA, proudly serving the financial needs of current and former military members and their families. And Mazda, conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way.
Back here at Madison Square Garden, two of the great programs in college basketball history. And you look at the program comparison. One national title for Georgetown, 5 for Indiana. But obviously, when you think of college basketball success, and you're talking about Georgetown and Indiana and great programs, whether it's UConn or UNC or Duke, I mean, these are two of the headlines.
Well, John, you take the last 30 years, and Allen Iverson, Patrick Ewing, the names go on, and they've been one of the great programs the last 30 years, going back to Branch McCracken, before I was born, a long time ago, okay, Indiana's always been great.
I think the other part of it as well is the boom of college basketball, I think, had so much to do, to me, with the Big East in the 80s. And Georgetown was right at the center of it. The Big East and television in the 80s was really when college basketball exploded. Shot clock winding down here.
You almost arc about for that. CBS.
Georgetown, and it's a shot clock.
There was no ESPN in the early 80s.
Loves that. Really almost what this one deserved.
He's got a clear lane. You know what? I always just tell kids, it's always body ball. If he threw his body into him, 2 shots, but instead he protected, okay, not get the shot blocked. I'd rather have body come first, contact, and then ball. If you put ball first, it's going to be blocked as it was.
Yeah. So tied at 77 as we head into overtime. But guys, Devontae Smith-Rivera, absolutely monstrous in this second half, with some help from Josh Smith as well.
DSR is a special player. John Thompson's looking for that game to get him going, to put his arms around. This is the game that can really affect his season. And then when you got a guy like Josh Smith to play through, it makes the game easier.
You know, we've almost had star of the moment, Williams, Rivera, Josh Smith, obviously Yogi Ferrell, and Blacko. We've had some great moments for a lot of players. If I'm a coach, not right now.
I think one of the other aspects, you look at today's game in college basketball, and they've been trying to address lack of scoring at times. Not here today. There are skilled players on this court, especially on the Indiana side. There's a tempo to this one, and a lot of skilled players that can fill it up.
I love the attack mode. I think both teams are attacking, which is making a great basketball game. Obviously, we've got terrific players, but the idea of attack without reservation, as Seth said before, without reservation makes it a heck of a lot better basketball.
And without resetting, these teams are flowing into offense. They're looking to attack in transition. Instead of resetting, they're flowing into their half-court stuff, which makes them hard to guard, and it keeps constant pressure on the defense.
Smith backing down, flips it out.
He's got the same threat as a Troy Williams.
That's a good point.
Correa missing the front end of the 1-and-1. So Georgetown by 2. Hunter Mosquera-Perea, the guy right now trying to... Smith with a huge shot there by Smith-Rivera.
Josh Smith scored that bucket because that closeout was short because you're worried about the post feed. Great job of Smith-Rivera recognizing that, not jumping up and knocking down that three.
All of a sudden it's 5. Hoyas on top.
So Indiana's got him right where they want him.
Turnover.
That zone has done a great job on penetration. They must have 7 or 8 steals, John, off penetration since they switched to the zone. And as you know, they're getting burnt early in the second half.
I like it when Devontae Smith-Rivera gets on the same side as Josh Smith against the zone. So now all of a sudden you
shoot post, exactly.
Smith-Rivera minutes. And the Hoyas jump out 7-0 as we start the overtime.
Indiana going 4 3-point shooters in the lineup right now. They must get a play behind the defense.
Talk about ticky-tack. What, he sneezed on him?
Defense.
Yeah, Indiana will take
away
that.
defense, but you can't be at 30 feet, bumping the guy. And the official has to call that because he's impeding his progress to the rim.
I don't know. I think the screener made him impede. I'm just saying. I'm not competing with Coach Calhoun. Look ticky-tack.
Farrell who made the 3 that tied this game and sent it to overtime with just under 8 seconds to go.
It seems Farrell's done a lot of things recently. He's been awful terrific down the stretch here.
Junior from Indianapolis. And Williams back in.
It will be interesting to see right now in this possession, Indiana, where are they going to double Josh Smith from, and can they get him off the block so those double rotations are short?
Yeah, they went offense defense that time. You're right. They had 4-point shooters.
Going left, the ability to drive it to a spot. You talk about coming out party, and we talked to John before the game. He said, it wasn't like he was chasing things. He was just trying so hard. A game like this, I think, kicks his game up a notch and gets him ready for league play.
Well, he was trying to be a great teammate and a great leader, but you also have to be a great player. And he felt about the greatness that he has. And tonight, during down the stretch run, he's been magnificent. And quite frankly, Joshua Smith changed the game.
Coming up next, number 1 Kentucky, number 4 coming up at Xavier, Creighton, January 3rd, Marquette, of course, still to come. The rest of that, Providence, DePaul Butler and number 7 Villanova. And then as far as Indiana's concerned, this Wednesday at Nebraska as the Big Ten schedule gets underway. Michigan State January 5th. They get number 21 Ohio State on the 10th. That'll be on ESPN. That's out of the way. This one will finish up for Hoosier fans. Tom Crean's team, though, entertaining to watch, and I think for both of these teams, kind of an outlier in the world of college basketball. Both these teams could score, no question. That'll do it. Georgetown wins it in overtime, 91-87 for Jim Cowan, Seth Greenberg, I'm John Shelby.
And a conference basketball game sprinkled in there, and how about this one? Two rivals, Louisville, Kentucky going at it. First half, if you hadn't seen some of these freshmen, how about Carl Anthony Towns with a miss, but Willie Cauley-Stein is there. He's a veteran on this club.
He is. He was in foul trouble today, but still made his presence felt just by being there with his length and athleticism.
Look at the athleticism here, working down low. Montrezl Harrell there, talking about the veteran for Louisville, making the defensive play. And then Willie Cauley-Stein, too. The tip on the inbounds takes it the distance.
Could be a lottery pick, a guy that a lot of people question whether he played hard all the time. He's answering the bell.
He's getting the minutes with the steal here to Towns, who drives, and this is a big point in the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a 7-footer making that move, and he's another guy that will probably be a top 5, maybe even a top 3 pick.
Tyler Eulis drains the Kentucky wins. Here's Coach Cal after.
Our players, unless they watch games, we watched tape this morning, this afternoon. We didn't show them a whole lot of Louisville. We're worried about us. Let's just be the best version of us. Let's be the best we can be. If that's not good enough, we move on to the next game. I kept telling them, guys, it's Christmas. This isn't the end-all game. Who cares? Let's just go try to play well.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. We missed about 8 to 10 easy shots. But that's a credit to them, but also we're a little offensively challenged. We've had this problem the whole year.
Even though it's only 2 days after Christmas, people in the state of Kentucky probably care a little bit about the fact that Kentucky was able to get this W. And you heard Coach Pitino talking about it, Jeff. Offensively challenged is probably putting it mildly with Louisville.
You know, I can't believe Rick Pitino has a team like this without anybody that can shoot the ball from the perimeter. I mean, Rick Pitino, that's what he's known for, having guys that can shoot the ball all over the place. Terry Rozier, their best shooter, and he's mediocre from behind the arc.
3 of 14 today from beyond the arc was Louisville, and they go down. And you look at this Kentucky team, though, a lot of the talk early season, who's going to get minutes now that Coach Cal finally has some depth, and it's Tyler Eulis, the freshman, who's really stepping up in that backcourt, isn't he?
Yeah, I've been saying it for 3 or 4 weeks now. He's their best guy. Put the ball in Tyler Eulis' hands and look at what happens. He's a guy who just facilitates, get guys open shots. He picks his spots, hit threes. And you know what he does? He really guards in the perimeter, Chris. And he can do that, put pressure on the perimeter, knowing that you have Carl Anthony Towns and Willie Cauley-Stein sitting there at the rim. You can take chances, and he does that.
And they slugged their way through this game. You know, when you look at the SEC, is this their toughest test maybe in the regular season all year long? Might be. But does this team have the makeup, you think, to go undefeated into March?
You know, that's the big question. This is an extremely talented team. They've taken on all comers so far and passed every test. And this was the most important test, probably the toughest one all year. However, you know they're going to get up for this one. Are they going to be able to get up for every SEC road game?